Good morning and welcome to Wake County Public Schools School to Career Recognition Meeting. My name is Bill Seiler and I will be your MC today, and I'm also chairman of the School to Career Council. If my memory serves me correctly, I think this is the 23rd year for this celebration, which I think is pretty remarkable, and it speaks very highly of both our educators and our business professionals that we have maintained this pursuit of working together, which I think has brought about some fantastic results over the last 25 years. Before we get started, I'd like to thank Joanne Honeycutt, who is the director of CTE for Wake County Public Schools, for working with us to get this put together. And also, I'd like to thank the Middle Creek High School digital media teachers who have worked with us to kind of put this whole package together for you all so you can see it. I don't think we could have effectively done that without their support and help. So a big thanks for them, and goes to show how much talent we have within the Wake County Public Schools, and that is really kind of awesome from my perspective. If we were doing this as an in-person meeting, I would ask all the business professionals to stand and be recognized. And then I would follow that with all the education professionals to be stand and recognized. And since you all are both watching via the virtual platform, kind of pat yourself on the back and know that we appreciate both organizations and the work that you do to advance the education of our students here in Wake County Public Schools. It's pretty amazing to see how far we've come. The next thing I would do would be ask for our military personnel to stand and be recognized, because they also are very integral to our public school system. And we appreciate their passion and dedication to our country as well as our schools. So thank you to all of you all that have joined us this morning as well. The last 6 months have been very interesting from a standpoint of where we have come from to where we are. And I think the fact that we're continuing to do this recognition meeting is a tribute to our civilization and our culture and how we have advanced and how we're not letting this pandemic beat us. So on behalf of the School to Career Council, the Board of Education, the Superintendent, and all the people associated with the school system, we appreciate all the business professionals and educators joining us this morning and allowing us to share some information with you. The agenda today, I think, is going to be very interesting. We're going to hear from our sponsor, Wake County Economic Development. Ashley Cagle, who is the Assistant Executive Director, is going to talk a few minutes about the Raleigh Chamber's role in schools. Then we'll follow that with our superintendent, Miss Kathy Moore, who's going to kind of give an update and thank some people. And then we're going to follow that with Wanda Denning, who is our co-chair of the School to Career Council, and she is going to provide some statistics, as she has in the past, on graduation rates and academies and number of certifications, et cetera. And following Wanda, we have two students, which is always a high point of this meeting, that are going to talk about what the career and technical education has meant to them to this point in their education. We have a high schooler from Fuquay-Varina and a middle schooler who is now a freshman at East Wake High School. And then following them, we're going to have Caroline Sullivan, who is the executive director of the North Carolina Business Community for Education. And Caroline is going to talk a little bit about some trends and also about a software called Navigator that allows us as business professionals to get engaged with not only the Wake County public school system, but school systems across our state. And so I think that's really an exciting thing for us to hear about. And it's also a tool that we have adopted here in Wake County to allow volunteers to sign in so that it will make volunteering a lot easier moving forward. So let's go ahead and get started with our program. The first slide that you see up here is a identification of the School to Career Council and how it is comprised. And as you can see, we are made up of three entities. We've got a business alliances, we've got career academies, and we've got career advisory teams, or CATs as we affectionately call them. And all three of these make up a stool which leads to the School to Career Council. And in all of these different phases, we depend upon the business community to support us, along with the educators. So business alliances work with the schools, the CDCs, recruit businesses. They help with the education plan for the school year. The Career Academy advisory boards, their business folks that work with the career academies to advise them and to work with the students in the particular field that the academy, on which the academy focuses. And then the career advisory teams are the areas where we bring the business in to look at the curriculum. And we use the CET personnel that oversee the particular education area and bring business professionals in to help look at the curriculum to ensure that we're teaching what the business people need. So it's an important element of today's world, and I just wanted to point that out to you in looking at it. The second slide that you see is the makeup of the School to Career Council. And the School to Career Council is made up of both educators and business professionals. And we assumed a new role back in 2017 when the legislature passed a new piece of legislation to have an advisory board for each board of education around the career and technical education field. So not only do we consist of the three entities that I just talked about, but we also look at the career and technical education field. And Joanne Honeycutt is the Director of Career and Technical Education, and she works with us in looking for advice and counsel on moving forward with the career and technical education. The next slide that you see will be the Board of Education personnel. Our Board of Education has been working very hard over the past months to get the school system going. Were we going to be in person? Were we going to be virtual? Were we going to be a combination? I think they've done a very good job in a very difficult time. And things are still changing because since we started putting this program together, the governor now is allowing K through 5 to do in-person classrooms. So once again, the Board of Education will be looking at next steps in this whole program, but they support us and we try to help them as best we can. So I think it's a pretty interesting process and something that we appreciate them and all that they do to support the Wake County public school system. So this year, we have had a sponsor, like last year, which is the Wake County Economic Development Organization. And here today to talk a little bit about the economic development in the schools is the Assistant Executive Director of Wake County Economic Development, Ashley Cagle. Ashley, the floor is yours.
Good morning. My name is Ashley Cagle, and I'm the Vice President of Economic Development for Wake County Economic Development, a program of the Raleigh Chamber. We are so happy to be sponsoring today's event. The purpose of our organization is to provide economic prosperity for all in Wake County through business recruitment and expansion. As we sell Wake County to businesses, our secret sauce is our ability to attract, retain, and grow highly skilled workers. The work of Wake County Public Schools is critical to our economy's success. We believe it's our role to be a strong connector between our business community and our public school system. One of the ways that we do this is through our recently completed regional skills analysis. This summer, our organization surveyed businesses in the 15-county Research Triangle region, asking what their technical and soft skills needs were going to be over the next 3 years. It might not surprise you to hear that critical thinking, problem solving, and collaboration were the most frequently cited soft skills needs across 10 different industry sectors. Additionally, companies mentioned acceptance of diversity and empathy as developing skills they are looking for in their current and future workforce. Through the 4 C's, career and technical education, and the endless examples of Wake County Public Schools' work to expose students and teachers to businesses and careers, it's easy to see that schools and businesses need each other. This is a driving reason why everything we do keeps both our business community and public schools in mind, and why we choose to support Wake County Public Schools School to Career Council. Thank you for all of the volunteers helping our CDCs get the most out of our thriving business community, and thank you to all of Wake County Public Schools staff for helping us grow a world-class workforce. We are so grateful for our partnership. Congratulations to all of the honorees today. We're so sorry that we can't be there in person, but we look forward to when we are able to all be together again. Thank you so much for all that you do. Have a great day.
Thank you, Ashley, for your comments, and thank you for Wake County Economic Development being a sponsor. We appreciate your all's involvement and what you all are doing to better our education system. I think the point that Ashley made about a lot of industry looking at what the education process is here in Wake County speaks volumes of how important education really is. Our next speaker is our very own superintendent, Miss Kathy Moore. Kathy probably doesn't need any introduction. Everyone knows her, but I just wanted to briefly state that since becoming superintendent in 2018, there has been a lot of good things that have occurred here in Wake County, and we appreciate all that she's doing. Kathy is one of those rare superintendents, at least from my perspective, in that she has spent most of her career in the Wake County Public School System, first as a teacher, then as an assistant principal, then as a principal, then as an associate superintendent, and then as the deputy academic advancement superintendent. And so Kathy understands the workings of the school system, and so I've always thought that it's very good to have someone at the top of the organization that's come up through the ranks and understands what it takes to do the day-to-day activities that are so important when it comes to educating. The other thing that's important about Kathy is that she has degrees from North Carolina State, UNC, and is working on a third at East Carolina. So she has also taken the opportunity to get involved in the top 3 universities within our university system, which I think is interesting. That way she can pledge allegiance to all 3. So she's not showing preference towards any of the others. So here is Kathy to talk a little bit about the status of the schools, the pandemic, the business involvement, engagement, and we thank her for being here with us today. Thank you, Kathy.
Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to be with you this morning and for your continued support of our career and technical education and school to work programs. It goes without saying that this is a year like no other. We are teaching and learning in new ways and adjusting to many outside forces. But in the midst of all that is different and challenging, it is still appropriate to pause and take time to honor and celebrate our volunteers. We know that our students are the ultimate winners because of your work with principals, administrators, CDCs, Career Academy CDCs, and career advisory team leaders. While much is changing, we appreciate your commitment to staying the course in support of our students, schools, and CTE programs. Before I begin, I'd like to bring attention to the work of Bill Seiler and his 24 years of leadership as the chair of the School to Career Council. We appreciate his continued passion and dedication for this work. Also, a special thanks to all our Business Alliance members, Career Academy Advisory Board members, Career Advisory Team members, and business partners who support our middle and high schools. I would also like to thank the Wake County Economic Development as a sponsor of this year's Superintendent's School to Career Volunteer Celebration. I would be remiss if I did not take a moment to recognize the work of Joy Frankoff. Many of you worked with Joy in various capacities during her years of service in WCPSS. We wish her much happiness in retirement. Gail Mcdougall has joined the Career and Technical Education team to serve as the School to Career Coordinator. Gail's first day was September 10th. I know that you will enjoy getting to know her and working with her. Finally, I want to recognize the talent in our school system, as demonstrated by the technical support and artistic contributions of the Middle Creek High School Digital Media Career Academy for preparing our slides for today and working on the seamless integration of the number of presenters that you will hear from. Thanks to these amazing students and faculty. Many of you know that our strategic plan has just one main goal. By 2020, WCPSS will annually graduate at least 95% of its students ready for productive citizenship as well as higher education or a career. This goal reflects our community's understanding and our belief that graduates today require skills far beyond the types that can be measured solely by standardized exams, and that many careers will require credentials in addition to a high school diploma to identify readiness for high-wage, high-skill, high-demand opportunities. We continue to grow our graduation rate. Once again, we have the highest rate in the district's history, 90.8. Our district graduation rate has increased every year since 2012, when the rate was 80.6. Improvement in graduation rates were greatest for English language learners, students with disabilities, and our African American students, so those gaps continue to close. About 2/3 of our high schools had rates above 90%, including 5 with a rate of 100%. While we have not yet reached the graduation rate of 95% as a district, I am tremendously proud of the gains we have made. The success is not measured in percentage points. It is measured by the satisfaction of knowing thousands of additional students have left our classrooms with more opportunities to succeed than ever before. I have shared with you before our belief that every student is uniquely capable and deserves to be challenged and engaged in relevant, rigorous, and meaningful learning each day. Even though teaching and learning has drastically changed since March, our belief in the ability of students to learn rigorous and relevant content each day has not wavered. We continue to adapt our methods to meet the new environment and the new industry trends. And you continue to adapt the opportunities that you provide for our students in schools. As employers, principals, and teachers, you understand that success after graduation is not predicated solely on what students know, but what they can do with what they know. As the number of careers in our economy that require more education than a high school diploma continues to grow, we are committed to helping students leave high school with a diploma plus credentials. A growing number of employers are seeking candidates that can demonstrate specific technical skills. Your input and direction on the credentials that best represent your needs help ensure that we are developing your talent pipeline. This is why we have an increased focus in students earning industry-recognized credentials. Students in career and technical education have opportunities to demonstrate their skills through the acquisition of a variety of credentials. In 2019-20, our unofficial count shows nearly 15,000 credentials were earned by high school students. This is a decrease from the prior year at almost 18,000. But we also acknowledge that many opportunities to credential were impacted by school closing in the spring. You continue to welcome our teachers and students into your businesses. You have modified processes to allow students to work virtually in internships, joined multiple Google Meets for class presentations, provided virtual tours of your facilities, and the list goes on. We know that when businesses support our schools, more students graduate ready for the next step. In fact, the graduation rate for the students involved in the programs you support is more than 99%. Our students who were CTE concentrators had a 100% graduation rate in 2019. Even though the numbers are not final yet from NCDPI, we believe that we will be very close to that 100% again this year. As we increase the number of students that concentrate in an area of study, we can make a stronger impact on the overall graduation rate and future success. We see more students choosing CTE pathways that lead to concentrations. We established a goal 3 years ago to increase concentrator graduates, and we are realizing that goal. We project 4,000 concentrators of 2020-2021, or just about 40% of our seniors. This is a dramatic increase from the 2,600 concentrators we reported just 2 years ago. More important than all of these numbers, however, is the message I want to leave you with this morning. You're making very distinct and decidedly positive differences in the lives of individual students. Students like Rishi and Lakeith, both juniors at Enloe High School, who developed the Sports Medical Assistant Needed, MAN, app, which helps to prevent, diagnose, and offers information on how to treat common sports injuries. They are the 2020 Lenovo Scholar Network fan favorite winners. Apex 2020 graduates Damari Person, Molly Todd, and Sydney Brock, who won the state-level junior chef competition. Sydney is now pursuing a hospitality degree at Appalachian State. 25 young men and women who have become apprentices with your companies, 19 under the NC TAP umbrella, including advanced manufacturing and new apprenticeships in automotive. We have also added construction sector opportunities to our apprenticeship offering. These students are working their way to degrees and certifications while still in high school. 15 students who are gaining emergency medical training with Wake County EMS, starting them on a pathway for apprenticeship degrees and employment. The opportunities are numerous and unique, personalized for students, and matched to the needs of you, our partners. The common denominator is that these rich experiences equip students for what comes after high school: post-secondary education, work, or military service. They leave with a deep understanding of the skills needed to be successful and experiences that make them uniquely qualified for those next steps. We still need you to partner with us, now more than ever. We need more and different opportunities if we want every student to have a work-based learning experience before they graduate. We cannot stop our good work together, even in the face of uncertainty and unprecedented circumstances. We must continue the work we've started. No matter how big or how small your company is, how complicated your work, we know what starts here changes everything. I want you to know that your efforts matter and your partnership is appreciated. We do not take lightly the investment of time and resources in our schools and students. Thank you. Thank you for this invitation, and thank you for your attention this morning. I invite you to enjoy the remainder of the program.
Thank you, Kathy. We certainly appreciate all that you do for the school system, and we appreciate your comments and taking time out of your schedule to recognize our business professionals here today. I think it was great to hear the status of graduation rates and how it has improved. But I think more importantly, as Kathy pointed out, I think it's great that the focus is also on making our students career ready, because as we hear from our business partners, soft skills and being ready to get engaged in a collaborative, creative manner is just as critical as having the background. So it's great to hear that we're making great strides with our 4 C's here in Wake County. Our next speaker is Wanda Denning, and Wanda is the Southern Regional Business Alliance Chairperson. She has been involved with the schools for many years. She's involved with the Fuquay-Varina Chamber of Commerce Business Committee, and she's our co-chair. And so Wanda is going to talk to us today a little bit about some statistics, and then she's going to introduce our student speakers. So Wanda, thank you for joining us, and the floor is yours.
Each year, I'm asked to update you on the work of School to Career Council. In our everyday work, we sometimes forget to pause and consider our accomplishments and reflect on the good work that's happening with your support to move this council forward. Several years ago, Career and Technical Education created some rather lofty goals. The goals were aligned with Wake County Public School System's strategic plan and with state and federal performance measures for CTE. This morning, I want to share with you our progress toward these goals. First goal was to open a career academy at each comprehensive high school within 10 years. This graphic shows the placement of academies across the district. In the 1920 school year, we opened an academy at Fuquay-Varina High School. This year, we opened 2 new academies, one at Roseville High School and the other one at East Wake. Throughout this academic year, we will begin planning for an academy at South Garner High School. While we're not yet in every high school, our academy placement continues to grow. This year, students will have 21 academies which they can choose to belong in 17 different schools. The focus projects, the intensive leadership development, and access to rigorous technical and work-based learning prepare our students for the world of work. Superintendent Moore has already shared with you data related to the next goal, which is increasing the number of students who graduate with a CTE concentration. Our concentrator graduates have increased from around 2,600 to 4,000 in just 3 years. This is important because CTE concentrators have nearly a 100% graduation rate. They also have access to industry credentials that demonstrate readiness for jobs in your companies. Early planning and exposure coupled with frequent reviews of high school plans are our key strategies. Our efforts to help students plan their high school experience is key to continuing to grow this number. Here are some of the highlights of the work that we have done together this year. 108,098 student contacts in career development activities, 7,763 adults, mostly volunteers, that work with students in career-related exploration, such as mentoring. Examples include ACE mentoring and Rock the Street, career assessments and interest inventories, guidance for business alliances and career academy advisory boards and career advisory teams, off-site learning opportunities for students, and tours of your facilities, hours of post-secondary education and exploration, career fairs, classroom presentations and career talks, support for CTE organizations as judges and training partners, practice interviews, grade explorations, and Academy Internship Summit. Your work and dedication is amazing and is truly appreciated. We have done a lot of work together, even in the midst of a spring that was not exactly what we planned. The final goal I want to mention is related to work-based learning. We want to continue to grow our work-based learning placements for students because we know this allows them to learn in ways we can never simulate in a school building. We had about 15 students engaged in an apprenticeship last year. This year, we're excited to have more than 25 and to expand the areas offered to include not only advanced manufacturing, but also automotive, construction, and emergency medical careers. You supported 55 students in cooperative education. About 140 students in course-specific training for early childhood, nurse aid, and veterinary assisting, and you provided internships for over 850 students. All of these data underscore your commitment to our efforts, to our schools, and to our students. Your continued partnership helps us bring learning to life for students. This provides the perfect segue to our next speakers. They are two great examples of how working together brings success. Our first student speaker is Andrew Vinson. He is currently a 9th grader at East Wake High School, enrolled in the new Life Sciences Career Academy. He attended Zebulon Middle and was a very active member of the FCCLA. He attended district and state conferences and earned high enough scores in his STAR projects to attend national conferences in Atlanta, Anaheim, and this past summer he competed virtually as the Washington, D.C. FCLA Nationals changed to a virtual format. Andrew is a leader academically and a former member of Zebulon Gifted and Talented Magnet Middle School National Junior Honor Society. He played football and baseball while at Zebulon Middle and was a key leader in the school's Fellowship of Christian Athletes huddle. The CTE department is proud to have played a part in Andrew's educational journey. Then you will hear from Andreas Jordan, who is a senior at Fuquay-Varina High School. He's been involved in several clubs at school, including the Future Business Leaders of America, where he's held the office of president and secretary. Andreas also founded the Black Student Union at his school and is as well as serving in an office for the photography club. He is a member of the National Honor Society and is a student ambassador for Fuquay-Varina High School. He even found time to work as a camp counselor for the past 2 years through our local YMCA. Perhaps most impressively, Andreas is a small business owner and has run his own business for over 4 years now, offering a range of services from stage lighting, sound, and graphic design. He has worked with a multitude of clients, including Fuquay-Varina Middle School and the Cultural Arts Society of Fuquay-Varina. Please turn your attention now to these awesome student speakers.
Good morning. My name is Andrew Vinson. I'm a 9th grader at East Wake High School. High school so far is going really well. I'm enjoying all of my classes, and the teachers have been really helpful and welcoming. I'm currently in Honors 1 English, Honors World History, and have been accepted in the new Health Sciences Career Academy. It amazes me of how many options and programs that our Wake County public school system offers to students. All of these programs are helping me prepare for college and helping me sort through all occupational options that I have. For my 6th, 7th, and 8th grade year, I attended Zebulon GG Magnet Middle School. In these 3 years, I became prepared well for high school. I would like to share with you why I think I was well prepared for high school. I think it's because of all the career and technical educational opportunities that I participated in while at Zebulon Middle. During my 3 years at Zebulon Middle, I took classes in technology education as well as family consumer sciences. One of the CTE business classes that I took was business finance and entrepreneurship. This class taught me how to run and create a business as well as how to manage business finances. I think all these CTE classes are beneficial to all middle schoolers as we explore more real-life topics. I know that personally, these classes opened my eyes to all the possibilities out there. The CTE Financial Literacy Program at Zebulon Middle allowed me to interact with business volunteers as they shared real-life money skills with me. Some examples of volunteers that came to our school to teach us about their occupations in finance are the State Employees Credit Union of Zebulon and the PNC Bank. I even got to attend a financial seminar led by the Coastal Credit Union at the PNC Arena. The Junior Achievement Program provided many business professionals to lead us in one of their programs entitled Economic Success. The Junior Achiever Program and volunteers were great. One event I remember like it was yesterday was a Junior Achievement Volunteer Luncheon I got invited to attend to at the NC State Alumni Center. Me, my best friend Andrew Desper, and another ZMS student were able to speak at the luncheon and share how much these Junior Achievement programs impacted us. This gave us a good experience of how to give a speech in front of a large audience of adults, which can be a little scary. As middle schoolers, we are curious about the higher education and careers outside the walls of our school. Our Zebulon Middle School CTE Career Development Coordinator does a great job of trying to get all our 8th graders off campus and out into the real world. Due to that, I was able to tour the NC State School of Design and attend a STEM event in RTP. I also got to attend the Raleigh Firebirds basketball game to get a behind-the-scenes peek into the world of professional basketball. Now, that event was awesome, as another student and myself got to go on the court and play a relay race during halftime. All 3 years of middle school, I was a member of the Family Career Community Leaders of America. We served our school and the Zebulon community in a wide variety of events. FCCLA for me was a great way to expand my leadership skills and build connections and relationships. During all 3 years throughout the FCCLA, I submitted entries into the state fair for cooking and Lego build entries. This experience built confidence for our members and gave us skills of learning how to enter in competitions. Each year, I was able to attend district FCCLA conferences, and I was able to compete in the FCCLA state conferences. My 6th grade year, I competed in the Nutrition and Wellness category and earned a spot to move to Nationals, which was held in Atlanta, Georgia. I competed in Atlanta and won silver. The national experience helped me seek more of a leadership role in my 7th grade year. So in my 7th grade year, I competed at the state level for my project Sports Nutrition and again scored high enough to earn a spot to travel to Nationals in Anaheim, California to compete with the best of the best. I am proud to say that I won gold at Nationals in California. This year in 8th grade, I did my project on Focus on Children, in which I designed and implemented a fishing camp and taught children the basics of fishing. This year was no travel, so I competed at the states virtually and again won a spot to compete virtually at Nationals, which would have been in Washington, D.C. But I'm proud to say that I did win silver at the virtual FCCLA Nationals, as I learned competing virtually is a lot different than competing in person. Our ZMS FCCLA chapter is very involved in our CTE college and career development programs, as we help our school-wide truck fairs and college and career fairs. We help by getting business vendors set up, offering hospitality like water and snacks, and one time even prepared a lunch for all the business vendors. What we have learned from these business professionals who have volunteered their time to these events is hard for me to put into words, as I have learned more that you can imagine in a huge variety of careers. As a FCCLA group, we have been so very appreciative of all our business partnerships. We have helped our career development coordinator in writing thank you notes after these school-wide events are over. My involvement in FCCLA has allowed me to be part of a local business community as we hosted and prepared dinner parties for the Zebulon mayor, commissioners, and town leaders. Our ZMS FCCLA has hosted business after hours for our Zebulon Chamber. We have also helped the Zebulon Chamber with their annual dinners. We have also prepared food for the Eastern Wake Business Alliance. So it's needless to say I got to rub my elbows with some pretty powerful business leaders in our Zebulon area. To wrap it up, middle school and all the CTE programming has provided me skills and opportunities to be successful. If it was not for the support of my family and teachers, I would not have gained all the skills and accomplishments that I have experienced. I am so thankful for my 3 years at Zebulon Middle, as I can't wait to dig deeper in my journey at East Wake High School as I continue the pathway of getting college and career ready. My advice to all middle school students is to take CTE classes, participate in the college and career development programs, and get involved in the CTE after-school programs like FCCLA, Skills USA, and FBLA. You will not regret it. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Andreas Jordan, and I'm currently a senior at Fuquay-Varina High School. I attended Westlake Middle School for 2 years and Fuquay-Varina Middle School for 1 year. Throughout my middle school and high school years, my passion for CTE subjects has grown tremendously and prepared me for my future. It all began when I enrolled at Westlake Middle School and signed up for a computer skills and application class. Here I learned many of the essential skills such as typing and document formatting, which I still implement in my everyday life. My passion to learn more about technology grew the more I took technology classes, which prompted me to take 3 more CTE classes during my middle school years. When I was in 8th grade, I pursued a career centered around audio and visual media because of the innovative inspiration the CTE classes taught by Mr. Brandon Williams instilled in me by allowing me to express my artistry in various activities. My business named AJ Productions grew rapidly over the years, starting with simple engagements with my church to working with the Cultural Arts Society of Fuquay Arena to produce a flyer design for the 2019 MLK March. The opportunities I've been able to experience in my CTE classes at Fuquay Arena High School have helped prepare me for college and my future career. One of the most influential CTE classes I've taken at Fuquay Arena High School has been the Teaching as a Profession class. Through the class, I've been able to meet many business professionals, educators, and even our superintendent, Ms. Kathy Moore. This class helped solidify my passion for teaching CTE classes, and I've been exposed to different aspects of the education field through a job shadowing experience. Another important milestone during my CTE path has been having the opportunity to serve my community by becoming a member of Future Business Leaders of America. I joined my freshman year with hopes of learning more about the business world, and not only did I get that, but I was able to travel to New York to meet many different FBLA members from across the country, volunteer at various events, and even become president for 2 years. FBLA has not only taught me about leadership and professionalism, but has contributed to many of my social skills with people. Through my CTE classes, I've been able to express my creativity through videos and graphics I have created for my school. One of my favorite experiences was being able to work with my teacher, assistant principal, and principal to make a video this year welcoming back students and staff during this unique time. These experiences with my school have been a huge impact on becoming familiar with the school staff and students. I am extremely thankful for every opportunity I've been able to experience through my various CTE classes and programs during my middle school and high school years. I would also like to take this time to thank every one of my CTE teachers, especially Ms. McClannon, Ms. First, and even Dr. Jesse, my school career development coordinator, for being there for every step of the way and presenting the various experiences I've encountered over the years that have shaped my future. Not only has the CTE programs under Wake County Public Schools prepared me for graduation, but they have prepared me for my future. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share my impactful experience through CTE.
Thank you, Wanda, and thank you, Andreas and Andrew. It's always very fascinating to me to hear our students speak and to hear what they're doing. It's pretty amazing as I reflect back on when I was a freshman in high school or a senior in high school and recognize that I was nowhere near where these young people are. So it's exciting to me to see where we are in today's world and what these young people are doing. One of the things that we try to do every year is have a keynote speaker that can provide some insight into the future of education or provide us some insight into what is going on in the field of education. And so our next speaker is our keynote speaker, Ms. Caroline Sullivan. And Caroline is the executive director of the North Carolina Business Community for Education. And this organization has been in existence since 1983, which I didn't know. And it is nonpartisan, although it is her position is appointed by the governor. And it works with business leaders and educators to strengthen our talent pipeline and provide opportunities to our students. So Caroline is a UNC Tar Heel graduate. She grew up in Charlotte. She has 2 children. She and her husband have 2 children, and they are both in college. Caroline has served on numerous boards, Wake Ed Partnership, Wake County Commission for Women, Wake County Task Force for Women Employment, as well as several others. She has been on the Wake County Board of Commissioners. She was the chair of the Public Education Committee of the North Carolina Association of County Commissioners. She was also, while she was on the Board of Commissioners, she was the vice chair of the board, as well as the chair of Budget, Audit, and Finance. Currently, Caroline serves on the Duke Autism Center for Excellence Community Advisory Board, the Safe Child Board of Directors, and the Wake Invest and Women Advisory Council. It's with great pleasure that I present Caroline Sullivan to talk to you today about navigating the education field here in North Carolina. Thank you, Caroline, for joining us today.
Good morning. I'm Caroline Sullivan, and I'm the Executive Director of the North Carolina Business Committee for Education. And I'm so happy to be here with y'all this morning, even though we can't be in person. I've been attending this breakfast for many years, and I look forward to it, to see the great students that we have in Wake County and to meet the fantastic employers that are working with students in work-based learning, giving them important opportunities to explore careers and have real-world experiences on careers that they might want to pursue. NCBCE is the education nonprofit in the governor's office, and we focus on work-based learning and educator professional development. We run many programs to help young people engage in work-based learning across the spectrum, including middle school programs all the way up to registered apprenticeship programs. Now, I like to say I'm a work-based learning evangelist. I think it's incredibly important, and I'm so glad to be with y'all here today because I feel like I am preaching to the choir. All of the business people there know the importance of work-based learning. We know how important it is to give all students in North Carolina opportunities for quality work-based learning experiences, starting early in middle school. And all of you employers here today understand this. You get the critical need for business and industry to work together with education. And when people ask me about work-based learning and why it's important, I like to say it's coming from two sides. One is from the student side. It's critically important that young people get real-world experience. It helps students understand the relevancy of what they're learning in class. If you understand the why, it's much easier for you to sort of understand why you're learning something. It helps what the teachers are teaching stick. It also lets students uncover careers that they might like or might not like. It helps them make informed decisions about higher education. And it's critically important, especially now for students and for their parents, to understand which educational paths they might want to pursue after high school. And the last thing might be the most important. I go around the state and I talk to employers all the time, asking them what they're looking for in their talent in their workforce now and in the future. And the thing that keeps coming up is employability skills, soft skills, having a worker that understands, that can think on their feet, can problem solve. And these skills are very hard to teach in the classroom. This is where work-based learning comes in. Students can understand the world of work and practice and learn these skills in a work situation, and that makes them much more likely to be able to come into the workforce with these critical employability skills. From the employer side, it's equally as important. Work-based learning helps you grow your talent pipeline. You literally can grow the employees that you need to have now and in the future. It helps you diversify your talent pipeline, reaching students that you might not reach through traditional human resources recruiting. It helps you have students and parents understand what you might do. And it also helps with hiring costs. Right? It helps the churn. It's proven that young people who are involved in work-based learning programs, especially these higher ones, pre-apprenticeships and internships, it's a loyalty issue. It's a way to hold employees. So it's good for both sides. So as I said, we run a lot of programs at NCBCE. I'm going to run through them real quickly, but one I want to highlight for y'all is Ready, Set, App. This is our statewide app challenge in partnership with Lenovo. We are ready to launch our second year of the competition next week. And a shout out to Gabriel Chua from Apex High School, who was one of our mentors last year in Ready, Set, App. What we do in Ready, Set, App is teach computing skills through a competition. We have many teams in Ready, Set, App who have never designed an app before. And so as part of work-based learning, we've identified students like Gabriel who have some experience in app development. They mentored these statewide teams all through the competition, helping answer questions and providing support. And through that, they were paid a stipend, and they had to learn these employability skills of communicating with the NCBCE staff and project management. It was a fantastic program. I hope Wake County has many teams. This year's competition. Last year, the Wake County early college team won the competition, and this Ready, Set, App Challenge is a great example of work-based learning. Another program that we do is Students at Work. I know this group is more focused on high school, but it's really important from work-based learning to look at middle school, because in middle school, it's when students start making their choices when it comes to classes and things they might be interested in. Students at Work Month is in March. It will be virtual this year, and it is very easy for companies to participate. Middle school classes will go and visit your workplace virtually, where you can tell them about the things that you do, the careers that are available, opportunities in your sector. It is easy, it's impactful, and I hope you will join us with Students at Work. The next thing I'm going to talk about is NC Career Connection Speaker Series. We partner with NC Virtual Public Schools in this new initiative, Virtual Work-Based Learning. This is another easy way to engage with students actually all across the state. We invite industry professionals to talk about what they do every day and career opportunities. You can do student challenges and panels. Pretty much the sky is the limit on the way you can engage with students virtually. They're able to ask questions live, and these sessions will be taped and put on BPI's site as well as the Work-Based Learning Navigator. And now Kaya Edwards from NCBCE offices will give you a short demo of the Navigator.
Hello everyone, my name is Kaya Edwards and I serve as the Program Manager for the North Carolina Business Committee for Education, or NCBCE. Now I will be highlighting the Navigator tool, which is a free platform for employers and educators who are really interested in getting in and providing students with that input that they need to make informed career decisions. The Navigator was launched in December of 2018 in partnership with Fidelity Investments, and today we have over 70,000 educators who have jumped onto the tool and are ready to get engaged with employers like you. Now, as I mentioned before, the best part of this tool is it is free. If you visit the Work-Based Learning Navigator site, the first thing that you're going to see is an About page, and for educators, there are 3 different ways to search on the site. First, by keyword, an interactive county map in which you hover over the county that you're interested in, and you're able to see which resources are populated. And you can also filter, which I'll go into more detail shortly. Any educator in North Carolina who has access to NC EdCloud is already able to access the site. All you have to do is log in with your NC EdCloud credentials through your PowerSchool dashboard, and you're signed on to the platform. For employers, we do ask you to complete an organizational sign-up form, which I'll go over shortly. As I mentioned, if you're signing in as an educator through the tool, you can log in with your NC EdCloud. However, through our partnership with the Department of Public Instruction, we also have the Navigator icon embedded on the PowerSchool platform. The same place that you find your grades and your students is the same place where you can locate the Navigator icon. It looks like a little blue compass, and when you click on it, you're already verified and you're already able to search for resources on the tool. This is an example of what the tool looks like for an educator once you sign on. As I mentioned, you can filter by county, resource type, target audience, career cluster, as well as a delivery mechanism. All of these resources are free. Now, I'll be lying to you if I didn't say that we didn't have competition. However, the biggest difference is we're making work-based learning accessible for everyone. How can you provide work-based learning as a tool if you charge people to use it? Work-based learning should be easy and accessible to everyone who is interested in it, because that is what's helping develop North Carolina's talent pipeline. As an educator, when you are interested in finding a resource and you found something that you like, we do ask for some background information, not only for the employer, but for us, because through our partnership with DPI, we do collect data that helps us learn what's going on with work-based learning across the state and where are the gaps. So in addition to asking that basic contact information, we're going to ask, what type of topics do you want the employer to cover? Are there any backup dates, if applicable, and any type of notes that you need the employer to have? Once your resource has been completed and the employer has connected with your students and the resource is done, we are going to ask you to have some additional questions in order for us to collect that data that I mentioned before. This includes the essential employability skills, industry sector code, as well as the number of students who participated in the event. Now, the million-dollar question is, how does a business join the Navigator and post a resource? First, you have to fill out an organization sign-up form. And this form is not difficult to complete. It'll take about 2 minutes of your time, and once you do so, anyone from your organization can sign on to the tool. We do ask for some basic information, your organization name, as well as your contact information, and we do ask that you indicate the work-based learning opportunities that you currently offer. Now, keep in mind, this is not written in stone, so if anything changes, you are free to make those edits in your settings. If your company currently offers guest speaking or internships or worksite tours, indicate that. Now, in the age of virtual learning that we're in now, you may be offering some additional virtual resources. You may not be able to offer some of the guest speaking that you had before in person, but we do encourage you to turn that around and make it a virtual experience for the students. Whether it's pre-recorded or live, NCBCE is more than happy to engage with you and walk you through that process to make it a high-quality experience for both you and the educators. Once your organization has been validated, and the validation process takes about 24 to 48 hours to complete, and this process is important to ensure that the safety of the students and educators is implied. Your organization will then be invited to start creating resources, adding your employees, and updating any company settings that you need to do so. Updating your company settings can include your social media handles or direct links to your website. Adding employees is easy. All you have to do is add their email address in the indicated slot, and then you're able to send them an invitation automatically. They do not have to complete the same validation process because you as a super admin have already done so. Now, as I mentioned, there is a role called the super admin and the business user. The super admin is the one that sets the presence of the organization onto the site. They are the ones that have the ultimate control and are able to invite users. Business users cannot update settings and they cannot invite new people. But depending on the size and the structure of your organization, that may be ideal. Use NCBCE as an example. There are only 4 of us that work in the office, so our executive director has the ability to invite new users. Now, the rest of us only have business user capabilities because there's no one else for us to invite, and we don't need to update the company's settings because the executive director already does so. If you use a company like Fidelity, for example, that has a large industry in multiple sectors, you may want to appoint individuals within each branch to serve as that super admin who can then invite business users to represent their sectors. This makes sense because it's a larger organization. Finally, creating a resource. This is what is going to lead you to direct engagement to the students as well as educators. Once you get invited to the resource card, all of the sources that you've indicated before will auto-populate onto a drop-down menu in which you can select which is appropriate for now. Let's say you wanted to complete a career fair or a guest speaking opportunity virtually. All you have to do is indicate it on the drop-down menu and create new. That'll allow you to be sent to filling out the resource card. We're going to ask for some basic information. What career cluster does it apply to? Who's a target audience? In other words, who is it for? Elementary, middle, high, disconnected youth? There's numerous choices for you to select. We're also going to ask how many students can you accommodate. If it's in person, the number will be smaller. However, virtually, it may depend on the type of package that you have with any type of remote learning resources that you have within your office. For example, Skype or Zoom. And then we're also going to ask for the delivery mechanism. In person, are the students coming to you? Is it virtual? Or is it a resource that you've already created that you want students and educators to have access to through a downloadable PDF? All of those options are available for you on the Navigator. If you have any supplemental materials that you want to attach, feel free to do so. Also, in the resource description box, please indicate those key words that your organization uses, because those are going to be the words that an educator is going to type in when they're looking by keyword for your resource. If you're a financial organization, be sure to include financial literacy in your resource description, because I guarantee you an educator is going to look for that resource using those words. And of course, the resource name and the featured image can either be your logo or the person that is going to be providing the opportunity. It could be as simple as a headshot. Now, what type of data does a Navigator collect? As I mentioned, we're in partnership with the Department of Public Instruction. So we are really sharing our data with them to provide the insight of what type of gaps are existing in work-based learning, what type of counties or communities are able to get a lot of resources and which ones aren't, and how many students are being impacted by work-based learning on a day-to-day basis. At any time, DPI is able to pull that information for us and make more informed decisions about employer engagement in communities. Now, how is the Navigator data used? As I mentioned, we're assessing gaps in work-based learning. We're promoting work-based learning awareness for underrepresented populations, and we're connecting employers to that new talent. Employers have more control now than ever to be able to develop that talent pipeline that they are seeking, and the Navigator is able to connect those dots that were missing before. And promoting work-based learning for awareness for underrepresented populations is critically important, especially the NCBCE, because all of our initiatives are tailored to equity and accessibility for students across the state. Now, how does this Navigator data improve statewide work-based learning? As I mentioned, we're connecting employers to new talent, and we're promoting work-based learning awareness for underrepresented population. We're working diligently to make sure that even students in rural communities are able to have the same access as those in more affluent communities. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kaya. I hope that all of the employers here today can pledge to make sure that they expand all of their work-based learning opportunities. Give all of the students in Wake County the opportunity to understand your industry, have career awareness opportunities, and to have work-based learning experiences like internships and career competitions where they can practice employability skills, understand what you do, and be able to make informed decisions about their future. It's important for the students, it's important for our employers in North Carolina, and I really believe that Wake County cannot just be able to do virtual work-based learning, but can really excel at it, and it can be incredibly impactful to our students. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for all that you do for Wake County students. To all the administrators in Wake County, thank you for everything that you do. I hope everyone stays well, stays safe, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Caroline, for your comments. I think they're most appropriate and timely based on where we are today in this pandemic world. The work-based learning is something that's a critical element, at least from my perspective, in helping the students see that relevancy between their education and what the work that they may be interested in going after means. So I think that is a great opportunity for our business professionals that want to look for future workforce candidates to think about. And then the Navigator demonstration was very insightful as well. And I think everyone needs to understand that Wake County has adopted the Navigator software as their means of tracking volunteers and trying to locate volunteers to talk about particular subject matter or to volunteer for certain areas that they may need some support in the education community. So I would urge all you business professionals to check out the Navigator and also share it with your business networking folks so that they too can understand how we can make a difference in working with the young people in the education community. It also gives us the opportunity to work with school systems across the state that, unlike Wake County and other business communities that don't have the businesses like we do, that we can also, through the virtual platform, work with them as well. So It's a great tool and something that I hope you all will consider looking at and engaging with. With that, let's move on to the awards portion of our program. This is where we get to recognize those business professionals that have made an impact, not to say others haven't, but we always have more nominations than we do areas to provide awards. And so it's always a difficult and challenging process to get down to the number. We try to look between 10 and 12, and we have 12 candidates this year who are award winners and have done some pretty significant things with the schools in which they've been engaged. So our first award winner is Jared Bissonetti, and he works with Wake AHEC. He is working with Enloe Magnan High School, their biomedical career academy. And Gerard spends many hours volunteering with students doing projects, especially the freshmen on their healthcare project show, which is a puppet show. And he attends all the shows at the elementary schools where they take it to ensure that the students are engaged and meeting the needs of their elementary students. So he spends many, many hours traveling as well as helping the students put together the project. He recruits speakers for classes, presenters for career fairs. He's volunteered at our networking event, has performed mock interviews, and done numerous other volunteer activities for the Career Academy. He's an extremely active member of the Academy Advisory Board, attends all the meetings, and is very vocal in helping the students meet their needs. So we would like to thank Gerard for all his hard work and thank him for working with the Enloe Career Academy. Thank you, Jared. Our next award winner is Mike Emming with the town of Apex. He is a career advisory team member, a CAT, and he is works with the carpentry classes, and he has been heavily involved with the shed competition since its inception and has been instrumental in identifying and compiling the rules against which each team is judged. And if you haven't had the opportunity to see one of these events, it is pretty interesting. And so to kind of keep the playing field level, they all have to meet certain criteria, and Mike's been involved in doing that. He's also worked to identify a building inspector internship for students. With all the building in this area, that really is something that is quite needed and is a good step forward for the building industry. The internship in which Mike has worked is also being copied by other Triangle municipalities, which again, I think is very interesting and great to see that Mike had that initiative and it's taking hold. So Mike, thank you very much for your work and your volunteering with the shed competition. Our next award winner is Janie Gerby with Ipm Ibm. She works with the Reedy Creek Magnet Middle School Business Alliance. She has assisted in spearheading a Girls Who Code Club at Reedy Creek, which has been holding workshops for 3 years now, working with the Reedy Creek girls to work with representatives from IBM on coding projects, using data visualization, and making a computer game using Python programming. That is above my pay grade, no question. She invited a group of 24 eighth grade students to an all-day design thinking workshop at IBM, during which students practiced design thinking methods by making apps that solved problems and met needs. The students had the opportunity to tour the IBM offices and learn about how design thinking is used in industry and specifically at IBM. Janie has also hosted the Reedy Creek principal, the CDC, and magnet coordinator at the inception of our magnet program to look at ways that we could partner, enhance the curriculum with real-world computational thinking methodologies. So Janie has done a magnificent job working with these young people to get their minds excited about the possibilities in the IT industry. And I think that is pretty amazing. And we thank you for your volunteering and your time with the Reedy Creek Magnet Middle School. Our next award winner is Brian Johnson. He is with Wake Tech Community College. He's a Business Alliance member working with Sanderson High School. Brian was the chair of the Business Alliance for the 2019-2020 school year, and he has been engaged with the Business Alliance now for 13 years, which is quite remarkable. He created a program this past year called Back to School Haircut Program, and he contacted many members of the barber community that he knew, as well as the students studying barbering at Wake Tech Community College to take part in the program. Students from all over the county came and participated, and it was quite a positive thing to see because many of these students can't afford to get groomed on a regular basis. So it was seen as something that it was extremely rewarding and positive for many of the students. So thank you, Brian, for that. Our next award winner is Michael Kendrick. He is with Newcomb and Company. He is working with the Vernon Malone College and Career Academy Business Alliance. He and his company have committed to hire 3 interns each summer from the school. And he's also been influential in the summer interns being continued employment with his firm during the school year and offering a letter of intent to continuing their employment after graduation, which is really pretty significant. He worked with Newcomb and Company to secure a $1,200 donation given to the school nonprofit 501c3, and this money is used solely for the school's use in supporting the programs there at the academy. He coordinated Newcomb and Company's participation in the Vernon Malone's Intrapreneurship and Career Expo. He had a team of Newcomb employees attend and speak to the students about trades and career opportunities. And so it's really heartwarming to see that we have tradespeople engaged to this degree, since not everybody is a 4-year college candidate. So thank you, Michael. We appreciate what you're doing there with the students at the Vernon Malone College and Career Academy. Our next award winner is Larissa Moore, and she's strictly a volunteer, and she works with the Business Alliance at Wake Forest High School. She has been engaged with Wake Forest High School for the past 6 years, serving in roles such as the PTSA president, member of the School Improvement Plan, vice chair of the Business Alliance, finance chair for the Northeast Regional Business Alliance, Reality of Money chair, and this year, the Business Alliance chairperson. So she has been wearing many different hats and been doing a lot of volunteer work. Last year, she worked with Shane Hawley Collision Repair. She worked with Shane Hawley, the collision repair teacher, to produce a first ever car show to better support the students and their curriculum. She volunteered many hours meeting with the students and helping them to implement the show. She also recruited area business leaders to form an advisory board for the collision repair program. So again, there's kind of the trades emphasis, and that is very much appreciated. Larissa led and implemented a table sponsor program to gain community funding for the Northeast Regional Business Alliance Annual Youth Leadership Conference and Wake Forest Youth Connect events. As a result of this effort, over 200 students who couldn't afford to pay for lunch were able to have lunch. So, Larissa, we commend you for your work and appreciate all the volunteer hours that you're providing there at Wake Forest High School. Our next award winner is Nicole Morgan. She works with the Gift Arts, and she's on the Business Alliance at South Garner High School. Nicole has volunteered to be the first Business Alliance chairperson when the school opened its doors in the fall of 2018. She identifies as well as provides opportunities for the students outside of school to help them gain confidence and character and leadership skills. So that's a big deal in today's world, no question about that. She's assisted teachers with planning the first Black History program at South Garner High School as well. So, Nicole, we thank you very much for your support of South Garner High School and all the hours that you volunteer there. Our next award winner is Rachel Morris, and Rachel is with the Rolesville Chamber of Commerce, and she's on the Rolesville High School Business Alliance. Rachel's helped lead sessions and recruited members for panel discussions at the Rolesville High School first annual Historical Black College Fair and Black History Month celebration this past February. She has successfully developed and grown a youth leadership program at Rolesville High School in the past 4 years. The program is now very competitive, and students desire to be chosen to participate in the activities that the program offers, which is really neat, no question about that. She's recruited countless new members to the Business Alliance and has helped place several of our students as interns in the local job market in the past years. She is truly seen as an advocate for the young people at Rolesville High School. So we thank you for your volunteer work, Rachel, and wish you the best, and hope you continue to work with our school there. Our next award winner is Kanda Mulapudai. I know I probably didn't pronounce that correctly, and I apologize, but Kanda is with Optimum 360, and he's on the Business Alliance at Green Hope High School. The Green Hope High School Business Alliance decided to take on an initiative of recruiting businesses to provide internships for the school, and Kanda volunteered immediately to chair this committee. Kanda and Catherine, who is the CDC at Green Hope, then developed a flyer that was sent out to the rest of the Business Alliance members so that they then had a tool that they could use to recruit businesses. Then Kanda really went to work and began recruiting. He called businesses, he emailed businesses, he went and knocked on doors, and through his persistence and efforts was able to recruit 25 businesses to provide internships to our students. And before the pandemic brought everything to its knees, so to speak, he was engaged with even more businesses. This is really quite an accomplishment to be able to get that many internships and to get businesses engaged with our students. So Kanda, for that, we are most grateful, most appreciative, and please continue that work. And maybe many of the other business alliances would like to talk to you as well. That would be great to see all those other schools having that many internships. So thank you very much. Our next award winner is Larry Rappel with Senegage Incorporated. And Larry works with the Business Alliance at the Wake STEM Early College. Larry is an instrumental leader with his company who consistently provides student work-based learning experiences through job shadowing and has provided 5 paid internships for the students there at Wake STEM Early College over the past few years. Several years ago, he saw a need and initiated a tutoring program, which he has led since day one. The tutoring program continues to be a very successful one, and each year, all students at many grade levels participate. Not only does the company allow the students to come to their facility, but they also provide a healthy snack to the students that come after school. And as many of you know, with teenagers, that's important. He has taken a leadership role in helping to plan our STEM-mastic job shadowing day each year, and has helped other businesses on the board by providing a job shadow opportunity for our students. He has also gone one step further and helps to provide transportation for our students who are participating in the job shadowing day. So, Larry, thank you very much for your efforts. They are very much appreciated. Our next award winner is Annie Schmidt, and she's with the National Alliance of Mental Illness, and she works with the Athens Drive Magnet High School, and she's on the Career Academy Advisory Board there. Annie has provided internships for our students, as well as serving students in the mental health education in Wake County through blogs, fundraising, and government support. She's also provided internships for 3 of our students over the past 2 years. So that's a little of the specifics on the internships. She is bridging more opportunities for our academy through the exploration of mental health of youth, and she allows the students to become the voice of the youth within the confines of their comfort zone. So she's getting people to think about it and speak about it, which I think is really great in this day and age. She's played a huge role and is an integral part of the school-wide education in mental health for the students and the teachers. So, Annie, thank you very much for your participation and making us more aware of the need of the importance of mental health in our community and in our world. Our last award winner is April Wood, and April works with the Garner Chamber of Commerce, and she's on the Business Alliance with the Garner Magnet High School. April has been instrumental in developing and establishing the annual Garner Career Pep program, which targets female high school juniors and seniors interested in developing job readiness skills prior to graduation. She has hosted a group of 12 CTE teachers to educate them about the benefits of their local Chamber of Commerce and the value business brings to their community. She partnered with the town of Garner's Economic Development Director and planned a very informative and educational day for the teachers that included a bus tour of our businesses around the town of Garner. April has also worked with the CDCs from the Garner Magnet and South Garner High School to provide a great experience for their members of our newly established Youth Leadership Garner program. A visit to the Garner Chamber of Commerce and a local company was coordinated, and during the visit, students were introduced to the concept of networking, and an intern active activity demonstrating networking was conducted. After the activity, approximately 15 Garner young professionals came in for the students to meet with, and they actually did a networking event that was planned and structured. And I think that is really critical because networking is most definitely needed in today's world. So, April, we thank you for your work there with the Garner Magnet High School and all that you have done with them. So that concludes our awards. And again, for those other CDCs and CACs and high school administrators that nominated other people that weren't selected, I would encourage you to go back to those people and say, hey, that Bill Soller guy, he just didn't realize how important you were to us, but we want you to know how important you are to us. So I think it's important that local recognition is provided to our folks as well. So if they weren't selected this year, please feel free to let their activities be shown again next year. So before we close the program, I'd like to leave you with a couple things to think about. First of all, we have an election in November, which is a national election, and I would encourage all of you to participate, regardless of whether your party is red or blue. I think it's critical that we get out and let our voices be heard. So I would encourage you to do that and hope that you would do that. Secondly, I would like to once again thank our business partners and education partners in the work that they're doing out there day in and day out. There's a lot of work that goes unnoticed or doesn't go recognized that is making a difference in our schools and in the lives of our students. So thank you very much for all that you're doing. And lastly, I would be a little bit remiss if I didn't mention my dear friend, Joy Frankoff. Joy and I have worked many, many years together. We actually started in this when Joy was the CDC at Athens High School, and then she actually left the school system and went to work for Piedmont Air Conditioning as their HR director. And then she came back to the school system, and that's when we actually began to work much more closely because Joy became the school to career coordinator. And so this is the first year in many years, I can't remember how long it's been, but that we've done this program without Joy's involvement. And we certainly have missed it, but I do appreciate all the support that I've received from Joanne Honeycutt and also from our new school to career coordinator, Gail Mcdougall. Although Gail's only been on the job for a couple of weeks, she's already engaged, and I expect her to be just as excitable and energetic as Joy was. So we appreciate all the folks that work with us, and we wish you all a good day, and we wish you all the best of health. Stay safe and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.